Nicole Gardner, followed by Thea Hendricks.
Okay, thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Nicole Gardner, the director of the nonprofit Facing Homelessness. Mayor Wright, I sat here during the last city council meeting and saw you say yes to the vote to raise the pride flag when from your explanation you clearly did not agree with it. You kind of babbled going back and forth. You seemed to just do what the majority of the people in the room wanted you to do, which in my eyes does not make you a good leader. Although I personally didn't really care if the flag went up or not, my passion calls for me to fight for another cause. I would have respected you more for voting for what you believed in and voted no. This tells me that once again, you have shown that you can't be a leader, but a follower. A leader would be the one to say no because he thinks it's best for the citizens in his city, even if everyone else disagreed. A leader would stand up to the county, who you all say is responsible for building the shelter and homeless resources, to get them to get the funding our city needs to help our homeless community. A leader would tell his code enforcement and abatement teams to knock it off and stop illegally taking homeless people's blankets, tents, clothes, and shoes, things they need for survival when your city has nowhere for them to go. A leader would have a safe place for his homeless residents to sleep and set aside a location where homeless individuals can safely park their cars at night. I'm just curious to know if you have even made any proposals to the council regarding different policies or efforts to help our homeless community. I'm curious to know if you have any ideas on how to help with this crisis, or are you just going along with what everyone else says and does? I am totally confused. I really am. Now, is it you who is in charge, or is it the abatement teams or code enforcement? Are you the leader of Antioch, or is it the community members that think that being homeless is a crime? I am just lost because it seems like no one is telling these people to stand down. No one is telling them that not all homeless people are drug addicts. No one is telling them that the city must follow the Right to Rest Act by not making homeless people move off public property when there is nowhere else in the city to go. I'm still trying to figure out where the leader of Antioch has been. I'm hoping it's not just at fundraising events calling homeless people drug addicts. I still haven't seen a public apology to the entire community, not just the protesters that give you a hard time. I still haven't seen you go out like your other colleagues have done to introduce yourself to the homeless community or to visit with people who serve the homeless community. Seems like our leader is missing in action when it comes to doing the right thing, but fully available when it comes to spreading lies and causing division just to get reelected. If I am wrong, then please prove me wrong and lead the city. Thank you.
Anybody? Mayor Pro Tem Motz.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you all for coming out today. And I know this is a very difficult conversation for many people. But I want to thank the city attorney for helping craft a resolution that expresses the difference between government speech and First Amendment speech. This resolution does not open the door to any organization, secular or not, that wishes to promote its cause. To the contrary, it allows council to consider requests of support, such as a display of the flag, that support historic civil rights movements that strive for equal rights and equal protections under the laws of our country. I believe that in our democracy, it is incumbent upon government and all of us to fight for dignity and equity for all, especially the most vulnerable and marginalized that are amongst us. If not government, then who? I support the resolution.
Councilmember Thorpe.
So, thank you for expressing that joy. I agree with those sentiments. For me, it's a little more personal, being that my biological mother was gay. My two nieces are here, my daughter, and so they had a gay grandmother. And so some of the comments that I heard hurt me to my core when I hear people talk about people who we persecuted, with a mom who I didn't get to live with because of her identity and who she was, and living in absolute shame. And so from my vantage point, this government, our government, I was once reminded, a constituent once said to me, it's so good that Antioch is finally catching up to its public, because the public has been there on many issues, and this government has lagged behind. So with that, I'd like to make a motion that we accept this resolution of the City Council of the City of Antioch, directing staff to fly the rainbow pride flag at the Antioch City Hall throughout the month of June in recognition of June 2019 as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender questioning community.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Oops, I'll second that.
We have a second. Continued comments? Councilmember Ogurchak.
You know, I too listened to all the comments today, and religion for me can't come into this because of the position that I'm in. You got me on that one. Sorry, he got me on that one. But it has to come down to what's fair within the city. So I did do some homework on this, and I was going in one direction. And after I did my homework today and yesterday, I was looking at the raising of the flags, and it says that, you know, the American flag goes first, and there's other flags that go below. It doesn't say which flags can go, which flags cannot go. It doesn't say that. It does have rules and regulations of what's to be flown. I mean, the sizes of the flags that's to be flown. The American flag has to be the largest of the flags. Any flag below it cannot be the size of the American flag. The American flag has to be the top flag. So with listening to everybody and reading all the emails that I've gotten, it's been very diverse, and it's hard because you're being torn between two, and you don't want to be torn between two. But you know, I have to look at the city as a whole, not just me as a person. So with that, I have to be in agreement.
Any comment? Councilmember Wilson.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, council members. Thank you all for coming out tonight. I mean, it was great. It's great to hear everybody come out and speak what is on their mind and share with us your views and your opinions. That's what it's like living in a democracy. We live in a democracy where we can be different. We can have different views. We can have different religions. You know, I sit here, the daughter of parents who grew up in segregation. I think back to the Loving case, if those of you guys are familiar with the Loving case many years ago, that a black woman and a white man could not get married because due to, in the face of God, that those two races were not supposed to be together. I'm glad we do not live in a society like that. I'm glad that I live... I've been in Antioch for about 12 years now, and I've come to love this city. And I love the people that are here, and I love that we are very inclusive. I'm proud of the fact that I sit here on a council in a town that once was a sundown town where I couldn't be out after a certain time. I'm glad we progressed to that point. I feel that we are now at a point where we are very inclusive. I do see the flag as being very inclusive. I support this resolution. I've supported this resolution. I think, like Councilmember Thorpe has said, Antioch, we're catching up. We're catching up. We're showing people throughout California and throughout our nation that we are inclusive. Our resolution that our city attorney has so carefully drafted up allows us, if other groups want to come to us, we can look at that. We can make a decision if it's going to be a group that's going to be very inclusive and bring people together, not groups that spread hate, that will sit there and threaten people and shoot people because of their views, their color, their skin, and the religion that they choose to participate in. So I therefore vote yes in raising this flag, and I'm glad and I'm proud that that my fellow council members support this as well. Thank you.
Councilmember Ogurchak.
I apologize. I know you want to say something, but I do agree that we do need a flag policy. I understand that there's been a little small portion put inside this resolution, but I believe that we do need to come up with a flag policy so there is no discrimination amongst who wants to raise the flag.
I thank you all for coming out and speaking with passion, and I want to speak my mind tonight as well. This item is something that I've been thinking about now for a year. This item came to us last year. There was a proclamation with a flag in it. Our city attorney said that that we could not fly the flag, that needed to be removed because that would basically then you'd have to have a policy on flying the flag. And so last year we had a proclamation that came forward. And to me, the proclamation truly, my goal with the proclamation is truly to let my LGBTQ friends know that I love and respect them. And I truly do. And then we move forward into, I wish, a policy. And a true policy discussion about should we raise flags. Because what then has come is a real binary. If you raise the rainbow flag, you love and respect me, but if you choose not to, then you don't love and respect me. That has become the true binary. And I wish I could have a vote that says, I don't think we should raise any flags. I personally don't think that should be the role of government. I don't think we should be in that. Now, we can disagree on that. But if I believe that should, I don't want the binary on that to be that I then don't love and respect. And so there's the two. And so, but what's before us tonight is not a policy on should we raise flags. Any flag. Because if that were the case, my vote would be no. But because I truly want to show that I love and respect, I truly do, my LGBTQ friends, I will be voting yes tonight. But as we bring the policy back, should we raise flags, we'll probably be voting no. Because I don't think that's what we should be doing, but it's not because of who you are, it's because a policy decision. And in America, if we cannot get to the point where we can have policy discussions and disagree amiably, where we respect one another's beliefs, not because of who we are, but because we see things differently, we've got to get to that point as a nation where we can have dialogue and conversation. And come to the point where even though we may disagree on a policy, we can still love and respect one another. So understand, tonight's vote is to show you that the policy I do disagree with, but I want you to know that I love and respect you. And so I will be voting that way. I will call this to a vote.